This video contains AI-generated narration. The story itself is an original interpretation of ancient mythology.
Welcome. Tonight, we take a gentle journey. A journey into silence, into light, and into the birth of one who would be called the father of all beings, Sage Kashyapa. Before the story begins, close your eyes softly. Take a slow breath in and release it gently. Let the day fade away and let the heart grow still. Another deep breath in. Hold it gently for a moment. Now let it out. Slowly, like a river flowing back to the ocean. The shoulders soften, the heartbeat settles. With each breath, the body grows lighter, the mind grows quieter. Safe, still, ready for the story. Tonight, I take you to that threshold, to the stillness just before destiny stirred. The rivers had flowed, the mountains had risen, the valleys waited in silence. Yet the world was incomplete, a stage without voices, a song without singers. And then came those who would shape the pattern of life, the rishis, seers who saw beyond sight, who gave direction where there was only motion. The daughters of Daksha, luminous and many, each carrying within her a different face of creation. And beside them, Kashyapa, the patient sage, steady as the tortoise, chosen as the root from which their destinies would branch. From his bond with them would arise gods and demons, birds and serpents, spirits and guardians. Light and shadow, order and challenge, all flowing from the same source. This was the beginning of beginnings. The moment when silence opened its eyes. And it is here that our journey begins. The universe. It longed for guidance. Then came the rishis. They were sparks of Brahma's thought, and these flames led to creation. Rishi meant seer, one who could perceive truths hidden beyond ordinary eyes. They were the Manasaputras, children born of the mind, not born of womb, but of divine thought. When mankind acted without knowing, the rishis revealed what lay beneath. Where creation moved, the rishis gave direction. Among them was Marichi. His name meant a ray of light, the golden spear that cuts through shadow before dawn. Marichi's presence was serene, luminous. His face shone with clarity, and his words fell like soft rays on a darkened earth. Born of Brahma's own mind, he carried the seed of wisdom, a brilliance not of ornaments, but of vision, like the sky's first glow after night. And then, beside him, came Kala. Kala was not born as mortals are born. She was the daughter of Kardama and Devahuti. Kardama, a sage of deep penance, born of Brahma's will, a man who once covered the earth in prosperity through his yogic powers, yet remained detached. Devahuti, daughter of Manu, graceful and gentle, remembered as the mother of Kapila, the sage who revealed the wisdom of Sankhya. From Kardama and Devahuti, through the power of austerity, of devotion, came Kala. She was the spirit of time, given the form of human. Her beauty was quiet, yet undeniable, her eyes vast and dark, holding the patience of countless seasons. Her hair flowed like endless night, sometimes crowned with blossoms, as though even the ages had paused to adorn her. She moved with the grace of drifting clouds. No being, not even the gods, could escape her. Her voice was soft, like dusk when day surrenders to evening. Her smile carried the comfort of continuity, that life, even in its changes, would endure. To see Kala was to feel both humility and hope, for she embodied the eternal current in which all creation must swim. When Marichi, the ray of light, beheld Kala, the daughter of Kardama and Devahuti, their union seemed inevitable. Light reveals, and time transforms. Together, they were balance itself. From their bond was born Kashyapa. His name meant tortoise, the patient one, steady, enduring, able to bear the weight of world upon his back. From his father, Kashyapa inherited clarity. From his mother, patience, and together, these gifts made him destined to become Prajapati, the father of beings. But what would this mean for creation? Could one sage truly nurture all that was yet to be born? He lived not in palaces, but in forests. He sat by rivers, beneath stars, in caves, where silence was deep. Brahma beheld him, and gave him the title Prajapati, protector and guide of beings. This became Kashyapa's dharma, not to conquer, not to rule, but to nurture, and in that path, a quiet weight rested upon him, for the fate of countless beings would flow through his name. Kashyapa was remembered not only as a sage of meditation, but also as a shaper of the earth. In the north of Bharat, in present-day modern India, where snowy peaks stood as guardians of the sky, there was once a vast lake, still, endless, and haunted. It was a lake without end, silent on the surface, yet restless beneath. In its depths dwelt a demon, Jalodbhava, the one born of water. He ruled the lake with cruelty, sending storms across its waves, keeping villages from rising along its shores. No crops grew, no cattle grazed, no children laughed there. The lake was a prison, and its jailer was a monster of the deep. Generations prayed for deliverance. Their offerings burned on mountain shrines, their voices carried in the wind. But the demon remained, swollen with pride, certain no mortal could challenge him in his watery realm. It was then that the people turned to Kashyapa, the patient sage, the Prajapati, the father of beings. Unlike warriors, Kashyapa carried no weapons. Kashyapa stood upon the mountains that circled the lake. He fasted, he meditated, he poured his breath into prayer, and in time, the gods themselves answered. With their blessing, Kashyapa struck the earth. Channels split the mountains. Rivers carved their way through stone. The waters, once imprisoned, rushed outward, roaring like beasts finally freed. Jalodbhava fought to hold his realm. He rose from the depths, his form terrible, eyes blazing like embers, arms like waves crashing. But as the waters fled, his strength failed. The lake that had been his fortress turned into his grave. He sank back into the depths, vanquished by patience and prayer, not by sword. When the waters receded, the valley breathed for the first time. Emerald fields spread wide, rivers flowed gently, saffron bloomed. The land came to be called Kashyap Mira, the lake of Kashyapa. Through centuries, the name softened into Kashmir. Thus, the land itself carried his name, remembering him not only as the father of beings, but as the sage who delivered them from a demon and gave them fertile ground. The breath of creation moved slowly, like still waters stretched across a valley. The breath released gently, like waters receding to reveal green fields beneath. This was Kashyapa's gift, patience shaping both beings and earth. But as the sage who delivered them from a demon and gave them a homeland carved from patience and wisdom, creation still waited. The rivers flowed, the valleys opened, the mountains rose, but the world remained a vast stage, empty of voices. The air was quiet, the forests stood untouched, and the skies carried only the sound of wind. Into this silence entered Daksha Prajapati. The name Daksha meant skillful, capable. He was a Prajapati like Kashyapa, yet of a different nature. Where Kashyapa embodied patience, Daksha embodied order. Where Kashyapa listened in silence, Daksha commanded with discipline. Where Kashyapa nurtured, Daksha arranged. Daksha was blessed with many daughters, radiant and graceful, each carrying within her the seed of entire lineages. Some traditions spoke of 24, others of 60, but the Puranas most often told of 13 daughters, destined to be joined with Kashyapa. This union was not born of affection, nor of worldly alliance. It was born of duty. Through these daughters, creation would find its fullness. From them would arise the Devas, guardians of heaven. From them would arise the Asuras, challengers of strength. From them would arise the Nagas, serpents encircling the earth. From them would arise the birds of the sky, beasts of the forests, and spirits of unseen realms. This was Daksha's vision, a universe alive with balance. One day, Daksha summoned Kashyapa to his great hall. The sacred yajna fire blazed, flames leaping high, casting golden pillars across the stone floor. Priests chanted mantras, their voices rising and falling like the tide. The devas sat in stillness, their crowns gleaming, their faces lit with the fire's glow. Daksha rose, tall and commanding, his voice carrying through the hall and beyond.
"O Kashyapa, the great son of Marichi, the grandson of Brahma, patience. Yes, it has been seen within him. Strength, oh, it has been tested within him. Now, a burden greater than any throne, greater than any crown, must be entrusted. To him, these daughters are given, not as ornaments, not as possessions, but as mothers of worlds, sacred vessels of destiny. 13 they are, 13 daughters of light. Each one shall carry a thread of creation. Through them shall rise the Devas, guardians of heaven. Through them shall rise the Asuras, challengers of strength. Or, through them shall coil the serpents, and soar the eagles of the skies. Through them shall walk the beasts of the forests, and whisper the spirits of the unseen. Through them the earth shall no longer be empty. Or,
the sacred fire roared in Daksha's grand hall. The pillars glowed golden, the air heavy with the smell of ghee and sandalwood. Priests chanted hymns that rose like waves. Then the hall grew quiet. Kashyapa lowered his head. He did not smile, nor did he resist. His acceptance was simple, a nod, an unspoken vow.
Wealth is not desired. Thrones are not sought. Power is not claimed. If this is the will of creation, it shall be accepted. The vessel shall be ready, and life itself shall flow through.
One by one, the daughters of Daksha stepped forward. Each carried a different aura. Each would shape a world. The fire in Daksha's hall flickered brighter when the first daughter stepped forward. She was Aditi. Her robes flowed white as morning clouds, her face calm as sunrise. Her eyes were wide, soft, and endless, as if they could hold the entire sky. She bowed gently to her father, and even in that gesture, there was a majesty none could miss. The sages whispered, "She is Aditi, the boundless." She was duty itself, calm, nurturing, always putting balance before self. Her wisdom lay in compassion. She forgave easily, but her forgiveness carried strength. Her beauty was luminous, not fiery, her face serene like the morning sun. Her eyes wide and soft, as if they could hold the whole sky. Her long hair fell like rays of dawn, and her smile carried reassurance. She was close to her sisters, yet her bond with them was not without distance. For Aditi's nature was lofty, and often her calm wisdom made others feel overshadowed. Still, she never flaunted her greatness. She was like the sky itself, vast, silent, and endless. Through her came the Devas, guardians of Dharma. From her womb came the Adityas, children of law and light. Varuna, lord of waters and truth. Mitra, guardian of bonds. Aryaman, the noble host. And mighty Indra, wielder of thunder, defender of the skies. Rig Veda sings, Aditi is mother of gods, of men, of all that moves and stands. Then came her sister, Diti. Her stride was proud, her eyes sharp as fire. Diti was fire where Aditi was calm. Her nature was passionate, bold, and restless. She was dutiful to her role as a mother, but her duty burned with ambition. So, what could Diti to be? Her beauty was fierce and striking. Her gaze pierced. Her face glowing like dusk, her form tall and powerful. She carried herself like a queen who would never kneel, but pride stirred. Her wisdom was sharp, but often clouded by envy. She wanted her children to surpass Aditi's, not just equal them. In her eyes burned pride. From her came the Daityas, Hiranyakashipu, whose roar defied the gods, and Hiranyaksha, who dragged the earth into the ocean's depths. Their very names spread terror. The Puranas tell how Vishnu himself had to descend as the boar Varaha to lift the earth back from Hiranyaksha. Her bond with her sister, Aditi, grew strained, for Diti's love was fierce, her motherhood protective, but her envy turned that love into rivalry. Next, from the shadows stepped Danu. Her face was serene, her eyes deep and silent, as if the ocean itself lived in her gaze. She spoke little, but silence followed her. Like a crown, her beauty was mysterious, dark hair flowing like rippling currents, her skin glowing pale as moonlight on water. She moved slowly, with grace, like tides that cannot be rushed. Danu's nature was secretive. Her wisdom lay beneath the surface, hidden, patient, waiting. She bonded gently with her sisters, but was often misunderstood, for her stillness was mistaken for detachment. Yet, she loved them deeply, though she rarely showed it. Her wisdom was ancient, flowing, hidden like pearls beneath waves. She was dutiful, but her duty was cloaked in silence. She nurtured, but did not boast. Her children were the Danavas, born of ocean, Ni's mystery. The Mahabharata names them as mighty, often standing against the Devas. A priest murmured in the hall, "From the sea comes nectar and poison, so too from Danu." Then came Kadru. Her beauty was mysterious. Long black hair, gleaming like polished obsidian, eyes sharp and slanted, glowing faintly in lamplight. Her face carried both allure and unease. When she smiled, it was never simple. It carried secrets. Her nature was cunning, her wisdom sharp. She was patient, observant, calculating. She knew how to twist situations to her favor, but she also knew when to bend, when to remain silent, observant, when to strike unseen. She was dutiful, but her duty carried calculation. From her womb came the Nagas, Vasuki, destined to serve as the rope in the churning of the ocean, Sheshnag, who would cradle the worlds upon his hoods, Shashnag, the Endless One, not a serpent of mere flesh, but the very axis of existence. When the worlds tremble, it is Shashnag who bears their weight, his 1,000 hoods spread wide, holding the cosmos. Another of her sons was Takshaka, the fiery king among Nagas. Unlike Sheshnag, who held the worlds in patience, Takshaka was restless, fierce, and swift as lightning. Name meant the carpenter, the one who builds, but also the one who can strike and undo in an instant. Takshaka is remembered in the Mahabharata as the serpent who bit King Parikshit, ending the dynasty of the Pandavas. The serpent is death, but also renewal. To fear it is to fear life itself. Then Vinata stepped forward, gentler, her smile open, her eyes bright like a clear sky after storm. She was duty itself, honest and loyal, her heart simple and strong. Her beauty was radiant in simplicity, golden hair that shimmered like sunlight. A face calm yet resolute. Her nature was straightforward, her wisdom intuitive. She spoke truth without trickery, often soothing quarrels among her sisters. The story is also ready for the storm. Her bond with Kadru began in affection, but fate's rivalry made it bitter. With her other sisters, she was warm, often the peacemaker. But destiny wove her into rivalry with Kadru. From her womb came Garuda, eagle of fire and fury, so mighty even the gods feared the beat of his wings. And Aruna, crimson dawn, driver of the sun's chariot. Thus began the eternal enmity, serpents of Kadru against the eagle of Vinata. Sisters torn apart, their children locked in war. This myth still lives in nature, the endless clash of serpent and eagle. The whole had not grown silent yet. More daughters came forth, each carrying a fragment of creation. Sarasa stood tall, fierce as a lioness. Her beauty was commanding, her eyes wild, yet compassionate. She bonded fiercely with her sisters, though sometimes her bluntness caused distance. Her presence in the hall was unforgettable. She stood like a lioness, fierce, protective, unwavering. Her nature was protective, her wisdom primal. From her came the Rakshasas, terrifying but also guardians of forests. Then Tamra stepped forward. She was intense, her nature restless, like the wings of hawks and vultures that never stay still. She was dutiful, but her duty carried a touch of cruelty. Her beauty was sharp, angular, high cheekbones, narrow eyes, a face that reminded onlookers of the predators she would birth. Her hair was coppery, glinting red in firelight. Vultures, hawks, kites, creatures who reminded men of mortality. Then arrived Krodhavasha. Her very name meant wrath. Her wisdom lay in reminding others that fear has purpose. Her children, tigers, lions, wolves. She was less delicate, more raw, but she carried a wild allure. Her bonding with sisters was stormy. Sometimes close, sometimes volatile. Then there was Muni. Muni was serene, almost otherworldly. Her nature was dreamy, her wisdom gentle, artistic. She was dutiful, not in battle, but in beauty. Her children, the Apsaras, embodied art, music. Her beauty was ethereal, luminous skin, delicate features, eyes that shimmered like starlight. Her face glowed with peace. Her hair was long, perfumed with flowers, falling like streams of silk. Her bond with her sisters was calm. She soothed their rivalries with her gentleness. Her children were joy itself, dancers of heaven, singers of beauty. And then, in the end, Kas's nature was mysterious, a bridge between earth and spirit. She was dutiful in unseen ways, guiding treasures, guarding songs. Her wisdom was deep. She understood what men ignored, that forests hold secrets, and spirits dwell in shadows. Her beauty was graceful but strange, eyes shining like emeralds, hair wild yet radiant. Her face carried both warmth and distance. Her bond with sisters was affectionate but rarefied. Her children, Yakshas and Gandharvas, embodied her, guardians of treasures, singers of immortal songs. Together, Daksha's daughters were not merely mothers of beings. They were characters, each with a nature, a beauty, a bond, a wisdom. Through Kashyapa, they gave the world not one kind of life, but every kind.
And thus, from Kashyapa came gods and demons, serpents and birds, beasts and spirits, all from the same father, yet born so different. Why? Because the source may be one, but the vessels that receive it are not the same. Kashyapa was steady, like a river, but Daksha's daughters were like many lands, one fertile with light, another fiery with pride, another deep as the ocean, another restless as the wind. The river flowed the same, yet each land brought forth a different life. This is the secret of creation. Diversity is not contradiction, it is completion. The same root gives rise to flowers and thorns, fruits and poisons. The same fire warms and burns. The lesson is clear. Do not be fooled by the sameness of origin. What matters is the path it takes, the vessel it meets, the balance it creates. One river, many lands. The water was the same, but where soil was pure, it bore gods. Where pride burned, it birthed demons. Where cunning flowed, serpents arose. Where gentleness ruled, birds took flight. Good and evil are not in the source. They are born of how the source is received. For creation is not sustained by sameness, but by the play of virtues and vices, of light and shadow. And that is how one father gave birth to both protectors and destroyers.
The fire sinks low, the hall is hushed, yet creation does not sleep. In the womb of Aditi, light still breathes. In the vow of Iti, shadows still burn. In the silence of Danu, secrets still stir. In the coils of Kadru, venom and wisdom wait. In the wings of Vinata, the storm gathers at dawn. The world tonight lies balanced, fragile, trembling, alive. Every heartbeat of these mothers will echo into ages. Every child they cradle will one day shape the fates of gods and men. This night has ended, but the story is not over. Tomorrow, the names will walk. Tomorrow, destinies will awaken. Gods will rise, demons will roar. Serpents will whisper, and wings will cut through sky. Rest now, let the hush of the universe carry you. For when the tale returns, creation itself will take its first breath of conflict and wonder. If tonight's story touched your heart, if it gave you calm, wonder, or even a moment of silence, then don't let the flame end here. So tonight, before sleep takes you, subscribe to this channel so the next story finds its way to you. Comment the city and country you are watching from. Share your thoughts and suggestions. Do you want more stories of sages, of goddesses, of battles, or of philosophies like Sankhya? Your voice guides what comes next. Because in truth, a story is never complete without its listeners. And this journey, this river of tales, flows because of you. Rest well, dream deeply, and let the patience of Kashyapa guide you into the night. Take care.